Today I'm going to show you a surefire strategy for growing your traffic by getting free backlinks from high PR ranked websites. But in order to make the most of this strategy, you must follow these simple steps. Step number 1. Create PDFs from your website's content or any other source of content you have access to that you can create PDFs from. Within the content should be active links to the various pages of your target website. Step number 2. Create accounts at a variety of high PR rated document sharing websites. The more accounts you can create, the better. Google, Yahoo and Bing love these websites because they're full of valuable content, and Google rewards them with PR4 to PR9 rankings. When you get a link from them, some of their credibility is passed on to you, which boosts your website's positions within the search results pages, giving you more traffic. Now this is in addition to traffic directly from people visiting those document sharing websites. Step number 3. Finally, submit all the PDFs you've created to each of the document sharing websites you've signed up to. That's all there is to it. And it works every time. Okay, let's get started. Okay, right, the first thing you need to have in mind is where is your content going to be coming from? Now it could be from one or two places really. The first, of course, is a web page which we're going to be able to convert into a PDF, and the second source of content could be in the form of a Word document file. Now either way, you need to make sure that both of those file types have the links in them already in place. There will be links to the home page, there will be links to internal pages within your target site. Now for the purpose of this video, I'm only going to be showing you how to convert a web page into a PDF, but of course with Word, provided that you're familiar with it, of course, you're going to know already how to create PDFs from your Word files or any other kind of word processing document. Most of them these days have the ability to create PDFs from them. So with that said, let's take a look at the content that we're going to be working with. Now I've selected, just for the sake of illustrating how this all works, I've picked the Outvio blog, and this is the article that I've chosen. All I'm going to do is take the URL for that article and just go back to this website here, the Web2 PDF site, and then just drop in the content. Now we have some control over how the PDF is made up, so if you just click on options, you've got some controls there. I'm not going to go into them right now, but you can do if you want to. So I'm going to close that down, and there we are. So now all we need to do is to convert that to a PDF. So that's going on now. It'll just take a few minutes. Okay, here we have the PDF is now created. So all you then do is download it. So I'm just clicking on the download link, and then I'm going to save that to my downloads folder. Okay, so here we have the PDF. Now what you'll need to do is to change the name of the PDF to the name of the article. Okay, so I'm going to just copy that and then bring it up here. And this is important as well because of course that title will contain keywords, no doubt. Okay. So when I open that up, we can just get a quick preview of how that web page has been converted into a PDF. Okay, I just need to bring that over into the screen here. So you can see here it is. It squashed the page up a little bit, but that's okay. People can still read it, they can still click on the links, that's fine. And of course it has added the little logo in there from web to PDF, but of course it's a free service, so what do you expect. Now ideally, working with Word document files or any other kind, or the Apple equivalent, Pages, if you have a copy of Pages on an Apple Macintosh computer, you can save Pages there to PDFs, and of course you won't have any of these logos in here, but that's not really that important anyway, because what we're looking for are backlinks to internal pages for the site and also the home page as well. Now by converting a web page into a PDF, that's all going to happen automatically anyway, because as I roll my mouse over any one of these links here, we can see, sure enough, there's the link to an internal page within the site, and it's all there. So there's loads of links in place already, so it's all automatic. And of course people can read that and they can click on those links and go to the various pages on your site. So that's really as simple as it gets. Now what we're going to be doing next, of course, is uploading this PDF to all of the various document sharing sites with the high PR, that's the high page ranking that Google has assigned them. So what you'll need to do is go through all of the content you've been given or that you have in your possession that you can convert into PDFs, go through this whole process and just batch them up and just go through it one after the other. And what you then need to do is to say, as you're doing that, is save it to a folder on your desktop. Call it whatever you want to call it, but as long as it's easy for you to identify. Now what we're not going to do is upload 50 PDFs to each of these document sharing websites, because that's just going to look like spam. So what we need to do is take a more measured approach to this and submit, say, between 5 and 10 PDFs every day to the various document sharing websites. So all I've done is I've created a folder called PDFs. You can name it whatever you want to, just as long as you know what it is. Within that I've got day 1, day 2, and then just simply save your PDFs to those folders. So I'll call up my downloads folder and I can then just drag it over. So that's going to be our day 1 from the downloads folder. So I now can go in there and I can then upload this file to the various document sharing websites. So that's basically the idea of what it is that you need to be doing. Okay, so it's really very simple and straightforward. Okay, so the next thing we need to be moving on to from that point is the next stage, of course, and that is going to the various document sharing websites, creating accounts, and then uploading our PDFs to those accounts that we're creating. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call up the spreadsheet that I created earlier, which lists out all of the different document sharing site URLs that we have here, and I've included 21 of them, and that should be enough to be able to get some good results from. Now as you can see here, we've got them ranging in page rank from 9 all the way down to 4. Now it's important to bear in mind, you're not going to be getting those page ranks passed to your website, but you will experience some benefit from it because those sites are highly regarded by the search engines, like especially Google, for example, and Microsoft Bing and all the others as well. So this is just a signpost to indicate that they're important websites. That's what you need to bear in mind here. So all we would then do is we'll go to the very first site in the list, and once we've submitted to that, we then just put in this next column here, we just put yes that we've submitted to it. So let's say we had done that one, we're just typing yes, and so on for the next day as we're going through our list of the various PDFs that we have. And it's important as well to record the username and the password, so you can go back to those sites on the various days to then re-upload your next batch of PDFs that we need to submit to these different websites. Okay, so it's just a methodical process that you need to go through here, just going through one after the other, working your way down the list until everything has been submitted for day 1. Come back the next day and do exactly the same. Now the next day, of course, it should be quicker because you'll already have the account set up, you'll already have the username and password, that's already set up for you because of what you've done on day 1. Okay, that's basically it. Okay, just to quickly recap over what needs to be done. Okay, we have the content, which we then turn into a PDF using Web2 PDF, or you actually use the tools within Word itself or any other desktop publishing program that you're using where you have your content. Not forgetting, of course, to make sure that all the links within those PDFs are live and active and pointing to your target website. Okay, so once you've done those, you need to, of course, save them to your PDF folder for day 1, day 2. If you have more than 10 or 20 PDFs that you've created, just divide them up into days, not making them so that you're submitting more than 10 PDFs every day. That just keeps you under the radar as you're submitting to these various websites. Okay, so once you've done that, you go to your spreadsheet file, you work your way through the list. You first of all create an account with each of these document sharing websites, and then you just go through and you submit everything to them on day one, come back the next day and just do the next batch, and so on and so forth. Feel free to add more columns to this spreadsheet so you can expand it out just to make sure that all the information is there. And of course, when you've finished, make sure that you send all the PDFs you have to your project manager so they have a copy of all the PDFs that you've submitted, and of course make sure they also have a copy of this completed spreadsheet file so they can see that you've gone through everything and done exactly what's needed. Now, there may be additional instructions provided by your project manager which you will receive and you should know about, so make sure that you go through those too. This video is just a way of being able to explain the details of what's needed, so hopefully this has helped. And of course, if you do have any questions, make sure that you ask your project manager. Okay, thank you very much. Finally, Outvio is the first and only project management application designed to help you manage outsourcing. Scroll down below this video and pick up your free 30-day trial. Install Outvio on your website, upload this easy backlink builder assignment, and take back control. Outsourcing made easy by Outvio.